Hello everyone. I am recording this video to share some of my thoughts on some interesting research problems which we are trying to tackle in our research division. Reinforcement learning is a major vertical in our research division at Visuara. And one of the problem statements we are very interested to tackle is, can reinforcement learning help us to derive the equations of physics themselves? Now, this is a brief talk where I will motivate the reasons for this problem statement and exactly what it means to use RL to derive the equations of physics. But it is something which is very interesting, and we have been working at it for quite some time now. We have an upcoming RL in production bootcamp, and we will be revisiting this in the research phase of that bootcamp. Okay, so one thing I would like to say before we start is my PhD was about deriving theoretical equations where we had these micro swimmers in oceans, and my task was to sit down and write mathematical equations to find the velocities of these micro swimmers in oceans and lakes. These are typically very small swimmers, but you can estimate their velocities given a low Reynolds number and certain other conditions which have to be met. Now, in my PhD, to derive this formula, even one formula, it used to take 8 to 10 months. I remember filling out notebooks and notebooks where I'm deriving, rederiving, something goes wrong, again deriving. And I used a special technique called perturbation theory, which at that time used to interest me a lot. Now, we are trying to understand how reinforcement learning can basically replace this process and predict equations by itself. So, let's dive somewhat deeper into the problem statement. So, what happens is that there is a small organism which is swimming through a fluid, and this problem has been studied since 1951, which is around 70, 80 years back, by G.I. Taylor, where Taylor derived a formula for this swimming sheet, where you see this term called epsilon square, which means that it appears in the second order in the wave amplitude. Now, it is possible to basically derive this by writing equations of motion. And 70 years later, in my PhD, I extended this to rest of the fluids which are not uniform. First our density stratified fluid, and then our viscosity stratified fluid. So obviously you get new asymptotic terms, new physics, and some more expansions. But it took me a lot of time to reach to those equations. And because of that, a PhD student, let's say, has a limited time window, 4 to 5 years. They can only discover a certain part of the entire space. Now, this is the how we model the swimming organism. It is modeled as a swimming sheet, an undulating sheet, where the objective is to measure the velocity of this sheet. So you can imagine a pulsating sheet, a micro swimmer trying to move in an ocean, and we are trying to predict the velocity. So some of my papers got accepted to Journal of Fluid Mechanics, but it was a hard work. I used to sit down and derive everything. So I remember during my PhD, some of my teammates used to work on numerical problems, whereas I did not even open a computer at that time. I used to come with my notebook and just derive. So the question is, can reinforcement learning do this for us? And to understand that, we need to take a step back and understand, okay, fine, if we are using RL to do this, RL learns from experience, and you need to have a reward signal. So how can it learn from experience? How can it take its next move so that it optimizes the reward? So to do that, one thing we need to understand is that to derive this swimming velocity, we uncover this velocity only at the second order. So imagine the velocity being like a tree, where as you go deeper and deeper into the tree, you get smaller and smaller terms, but then that is where the real velocity lies, because at the top, when you don't add any non-linearity, it is all homogeneous. So it's like a tree which is expanding, and we have to build that tree using reinforcement learning. So there are multiple ways in which we can apply RL. One of the ways in which people have done it is, this is not exactly RL, but you can train an optimal swimming gait by maximizing a reward purely in simulation. You are not deriving any theoretical equation. The advantage of deriving an equation is that you get information about the parameters and how exactly the parameters affect the swimming velocity. So that is incredibly valuable for physicists. Now we are taking the third approach where RL will be used to discover the asymptotic method itself. Now, how can we do that? Uh, let's say the velocity tree, we have to reach to the deeper and deeper nodes. So we have to pick which path of the tree to traverse, and this can be declared as symbolic operations. One of the symbolic operations can be writing the Stokes equation, expanding the equation, then solving for the ODE. There are a number of series of steps that you need to take once you have the equation ready. And a smart agent will understand what is the right set of steps to take for a specific problem statement. Now here, let's say we use the same technique. There is a very specific path we have to follow to reach to the Taylor's equation, which is the output of move number 15th, which is given at the bottom. So all we need to do is we need to predict these moves step by step in a proper way. But the hard part is to choose which move comes next, and that is what we will train our RL agent to predict. So in RL, there is a state, and for every state, you need to pick a specific action. For example, let's say we are trying to play a game of chess. I am at a specific position in the chessboard, and at that state, I want to pick an action. So using a trained RL agent, you can train an agent to pick the right action so that you move towards maximizing the reward, which is winning the game of chess. Here also, for every state, you have lot of actions. You can expand, simplify, average, differentiate, multiply, divide. You can do a lot of things. Now we will have a reward where the agent will try to match the equation with the already known equation. So this is the training part where we will train the agent on some known physical conditions, and then during testing we will expose the agent to new environments, so that in new environments we'll understand whether it is able to predict the equations in completely new environments. So we will be using GRPO as a policy to optimize the actions which the agent is taking for every state to maximize the cumulative rewards. And one thing we need to be careful is that there are two phases here. So in phase one, in the training phase, we will use a curriculum of known problems, uh, which can be the Taylor sheet. And then in phase two, we will derive uh, physical equations for new set of problems. For example, the sheet immersed in density stratified fluid, any other conditions. Let's say you have a polymeric fluid, what happens during those environmental conditions, etc. So this is where the scientific discovery phase becomes very important. When exposed to a new environment, is our agent able to solve the process, solve the physical environment, look at the equations which it has done before, and come up with new equations which describe the phenomena. So scientific discovery is something which is, I believe, large part of it has been automated literature review, etc. But the main part, which is coming up with novel physics that describes a process, that is something very unique and interesting. So we want to take an approach where we are exploring RL to discover the closed form equations, unknown equations. I know a lot of people in the field who are very good at theory, who are good at expanding these equations and solving them. But whatever intuition these people have, can we learn from that intuition and give that intuition to the agent, so that the agent is also able to discover new physics? And I feel this will greatly accelerate scientific discovery, uh, and especially pertaining to these physical fluids theoretical problem statements, where understanding the physics and equations is the most important part. So this is something which is covered in the research phase of the RL bootcamp, and uh, the current RL track of our research division. We are doing a lot of interesting use cases, but scientific discovery is something we are just starting out with. So I'm very excited for this, and feel free to check out the work we are doing in our research division and the RL bootcamp as well. Thanks.